Therapy, I mean, we're having it. We're having it. We're having it. Man United most likely are going to win the Europa League just to spite me. I absolutely cannot stand the Europa League, people. I hate it. Players look fatigued. We got out of there 1-0 tonight, but we're going to be going through that. Big up to every one of you. Big up Claire. Big up Lilas. Big up Arsenal. Might be kicked out tonight. Why? What's happened to Arsenal? I don't know what's happening. Sheikh Jasmine said after the delegation spent 10 hours at Man United today, they remain determined. Listen, I'm not falling for all of this BS, man. We'll see. Smash a like on the entry. There we go, Georgie B. Penalties in the Arsenal game. No, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it at all. Evening all. Is it still going on? Evening on. Please like video free. Like, haven't been good recently. Expecting the like tonight. Yeah, 100%. Tell me about it. The likes have not been good at all. Big up Claire. You know what I mean? The biggest mud in YouTube game. I'm telling you, she's the biggest mud. One day I'm gonna get Claire on here. But welcome to United Real Therapy, people. Therapy Army, where are you? Let's be having you. I say it simple. Arsenal are out. Nuruddin looking sporty. I've got a shirt and a cardigan. I look sporty. Arsenal are out. Well, to be fair, they wanted to get knocked out anyway. To be fair, Arsenal were never going to try to fight on both fronts. They wanted to concentrate on the league title. I'm telling you. So it is what it is. No, they look like Dunk. Yes, I look like the Don. There you go. Big up to all of you. Listen, smash a like on the videos. Don't do bad. Arsenal are out. Outrageous performance. Atrocious performance from Arsenal today. Europa is yours. Usman Verk. Usman Verk is an Arsenal fan, innit? Usman, talk to me, brother. What happened? R.I.P. Arsenal. Listen, I said it and I'll say it again now that a lot of you are in here. I think Man United are going to properly win the league. Win the Europa League to spite me. That's what they're doing. You know how much I hate Europa League. You know I hate that Europa League. Big up to every one of you. Northern, I will come on, but not on camera. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to come on camera, Claire. Like I said to you, honestly, you don't have to come on camera. Bumbaye never comes on camera. Loads of people don't come on camera here. Tom never comes on camera. You're more than welcome. You just let me know when you want to come on. Honestly, you just let me know, Claire. Let me know when you're free to come on. Big up Alien Tenor with super chat saying RIP Arsenal. GG and you. Oh God, Zayn, where are you? Where are you, Zayn? He's gonna cry in a minute. He's gonna cry in a minute. Zayn's gonna cry in a minute. He's gonna cry in a minute. No, I'm taking the pick. Listen, Zayn will be pleased. Zayn will be happy that they're out. They didn't put too much energy into this. Of course they didn't. They wanted to get out, bro. They're going to have to choose. They can't fight on the Europa League, traveling, and fight for a league title as well. It's impossible, bro. Sunday, Thursday, no chance. We've got 2 injuries today looking bad. Tomiyasu and Saliba missed so many sitters today, but the Europa League, if you win the Premier, exactly. What do you care about it? You know, I mean, you're going for a bigger trophy, bro. So I won't worry about that if I was you. But listen, people, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'll put the link on here, see if people want to jump on. Malcolm wanted to jump on. So let's be having. I want to hear from you tonight. I want to hear from your match reaction. So come in here. Who wants to come in here? Make sure you got to show your face unless you're one of the trusted few. And I mean, the likes of Claire, the likes of Tom don't have to show their face. Anybody calling in has to show their face. So it is what it is, people. It is what it is. So big up, Tom. We've got Tom in the house. Tom, are we having it or what?
Big up, how are we having it?
Yeah.
Look, what's with you, my guy? You're dressing really swagger something. Have you been at these meetings? I think Nuruddin's been one of these delegates. He's one of these advisors.
Hey, listen, when they're going around Carrington, I was with the umbrella guy.
Nuruddin's the cameraman. That's what he's saying. That's why.
I was doing my umbrella. Now, to be fair, I've just been to see a piece of dance theatre at the Lowry, and
All right.
it was the Peaky Blinders, the dance
I see.
version. Yeah, the dance version was brilliant. It's really.
I see.
I'm not a big fan of Peaky Blinders, but
No.
yeah. But it's crazy. Big up Natalie. No, really, where is Zane? He's crying in the river. He's crying in the river. He's crying us the river. Zane, where are you, Zane? He's crying us the river. He's crying us the river. That's saying he's crying us the river. No, listen. Like I said, we have to put the context in it. We can banter Arsenal fans, but to be fair, they were never going to try to stay in the Europa League. They were always going to choose to battle for the league title and then to be in the Europa, to be fair to them. So majority of their fans will know, you know what I mean? They could have beaten Sporting tonight. They could have. But I think they wanted to get out. If you all be honest, they wanted to get out. United win, Arsenal lose, great day, Georgia B. Zane, no, listen, I'm telling you now, Zane is going to be happy. So talk to me, Tom. I'll go with you and then I'll come to you, Malcolm. What did you think about the game tonight? I watched 70 minutes of the game. I missed the last 20 minutes of the game. So yeah, I saw the goal and everything. I saw the chances we had. I saw the Sancho chance. I saw I saw people being subbed on. I saw the substitutions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lindelof coming on and he's taking off people like that. So, but talk to me. How did you see the game?
Yeah. Listen, I think
like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. I think we're 130 away from 7,000. So let's go, people. Let's go.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Alien, come on, try again, Alien. Try again. He's saying your device is not connecting, but try again.
Yeah, try again, Alien Tanner, man.
Yeah.
But listen, we look at the game and think, you know, it was a case of we had to rotate quite a few of the players that we had, and you know, bringing in such as Maguire, we know that. How could I just say? He just doesn't suit modern day football, does it? He just doesn't. Like, I'm sorry. Do you know something, right? And I'll say this about Harry Maguire. If he had maybe 2 yards more extra pace, he wouldn't actually be a half decent defender, if I'm being completely honest. If he had some legs about him, I don't think he'd be a bad defender, Harry Maguire, but he just, like, attackers and strikers, they just stick to him, and then they'll just go straight behind Martinez, and then they're in. Like, and in that case, I look at the game with today and I think, majority of the first half, I don't think it was amazing, I'll be real. We obviously had the Casemiro header chance. That was really the only thing. Obviously, they hit the post a couple of times. Joaquin, I think he's like 40 years old, is he not? One of their players, like, brilliant chance that hit the post and, you know, swerving away. The Palestri booking, listen, we know what referees are like in Europe, especially when you play Spanish clubs, don't we? So it's expected that you're going to have some bizarre decisions that go against you. But overall, you look at Palestri and you think, I think he took balls from Ten Hag to put him in there tonight, really. Obviously, yeah, you know, there's not a lot of pressure on the game because we are ahead in the tie. But overall, I think when you think about it, you put a kid out there who hasn't had a lot of game time. And I think he took his chance, and I think he showed glimpses of what he can do. He can take a man on. He can, you know, low sense of gravity and everything. We knew all this beforehand, and I think Ten Hag is, you know, happy to work with him potentially. And you know, I think there is a future for him here at Man United. You know, we look at players like Rashford and things where they've had that development and then they've had that, you know, opportunity. And listen, from an overall team performance, it wasn't the finished article, but as we always say, if you can nick a game 1-0 or, you know, 2-1 or something like that, then you've still got the win at the end of the day. You know, if you have to win scruffy, you have to win scruffy. And we didn't have to necessarily win the game tonight because I think the tie was done and dusted from the first leg, but it took the pressure off of us in terms of we can rest a couple of players for the weekend. Likes of Shaw, Varane, obviously he's sticking Palestri in there because of what's happened with Garnacho and players like that. But at the end of the day, you've rested a lot of the legs that you needed to in terms of the whole squad and the team. And obviously you can take now the Fulham game in your stride. And yeah, you know, we won't have Casemiro in that game, which I think is a big downer. But I guess some stand-up performances for me tonight, considering the fact of, and I've always said this when Malacia plays, he had a game against West Ham like in the season where I thought he had a bit of a stinker. But overall, I think to say you've only paid, say, £13 million for a player like that, and he can come into a team and do a job, like, it's good business when we've done such as what we've done there. Same thing with Wan-Bissaka. When he needs to be relied upon this season, he has been there to be relied upon. And I think overall, you look at the performance and you think it was more a case of individuals shone out than a whole team performance, because it's not our first team and it's not a principal game where we have to be superb and everything. But overall, like, we look at some of these players, like, I think Ten Hag's already figured it out with a lot of these players. They are going in the summer. Harry Maguire, he's a marketable player. He's an England international. He'll be able to find another club in the Premier League, a West Ham, a Leicester, maybe even a Tottenham, something like that. Like, a club will take him. He's an England international, for Christ's sake, and he's always in the England squad, whether he plays for Man United or not. So a club will take him, and you know, as a whole assessment, I think we know what we need in the summer. At the end of the day, Weghorst, listen, he does what he does for the team with his legs, his energy, but that can only take you so far. We need somebody who's clinical and can, smash the ball in the back of the net, especially if you're going to play Champions League next season and you're playing against top European teams. Like, you need the best in class, effectively. And look, overall as a team, it was okay, but I just think with the way the team obviously has been from the most recent games anyway, especially from the Southampton game, I think there needs to be a reaction, especially from Casemiro in that game. And overall, I think he did give that enthusiasm. Rashford, I mean, the chance where he went through and he smashed it into the, I don't even know if he smashed it into the top tier or even out of the stadium, to be honest with you. It was really out of character for him. But obviously, he redeemed himself with a goal that he took. The technique and the way it swerved away from the keeper as well. Like, it's just inch perfect. And, sharpen his tools up. I think he's now the youngest ever player to reach 25 goals in European competitions for Man United or something like that. And he's only 25 years old, like 25, 26 years old. So, listen, there's good standout things from the whole thing. And I think, listen, we rested the legs, and as Erik Ten Hag has always done through all the European competitions this season, we ain't staying overnight. We're getting straight back and we're getting straight on recovery. And then we go again at the weekend for Fulham. And it's the right motto, it's the right ethos. And on the whole, I think it's the right way to run a squad and run a team that's playing so many games. You can't really afford to stay overnight and stay grounded in a hotel and then travel the next day. You're losing a day out of preparation and training. Like, that could be crucial in terms of going to the Fulham game and getting a result there. But listen, overall, we got, Pellistri had his chance in the game. Maguire can't argue. He's had 90 minutes or so tonight, so he can't really be overly, I guess, committing to Erik Ten Hag as the manager. He's given him minutes here and there, and listen, he's doing what he can to keep everybody happy. And as a coach and as a manager, that's all you can do when you try and manage players who are not good enough to play your system, but you're doing the bare minimum to at least complement them in the squad or implement them in a way. So yeah. But I think it was very constructed. And listen, we got the win even away from home, which I think is a crucial thing that we can take away, because we know away form's been rubbish.
Our record against Spanish teams is improving. Big up Alien 10, or try again. One more time, try again to try to get on. Big up Marshall. Marshall, love and light Marshall West. Love to you all, man. Andy says, every time the ball went near Maguire, I got the heebie-jeebies. I don't think you're the only one, mate. You're not the only one, mate. Big up. I'm late, but Arsenal lost. We're winning the Europa League. Let's go. Listen, at the end of the day, there's still good teams to go. And like I said, it's gonna be like, to spite me, Man United are gonna go and win the Europa League. Honestly, look, to be fair, a lot of the players look shattered tonight. We looked a bit indifferent in that first half. Please smash a like. There's over 100 of you in here. Big up our Claire in the chat. Big up to every one of you. Big up Jarvis. Big up Georgie B. Big up everybody. Listen, I'll post it again one more time. The link is there if you want to jump on, show your face and that. Big up Windy. Windy says Rashford looks so tired, exhausted. Looking at his fatigued face makes me tired. Watching him tired makes you tired. I understand 100%. Big up to you, Malcolm. How did you see the game?
Yeah.
Listen, before I go to that, what was the Pellistri yellow card? It's like referees, like, it's global thing now, global conspiracy. The guy classes us into him, and he gets the yellow card. It's like that referee was watching the Premier League referees are going, hold my beer. Oh my
Listen, don't even get started about that revision. Anybody who watched that Southampton game and you saw Rene Levier in that challenge, and you saw what happened with Casemiro, like, if that's not taking the effing Michael, I don't know what more you need to say in that case with referees, especially in the Premier League, that is.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Go ahead, Malcolm. Let me hear you.
Look, big up everyone in the chat, man. It's good to see you guys again. But yeah, I think overall, I think we, got the job done. You know what I mean? Obviously first leg, the tie was done and dusted. But I think first half Betis, put some pressure on us, I think they were the I'd say the team with the most possession. Um, but I don't think they created a lot of clear cut chances. I'd say we defended well, in certain moments. Um, and then in the second half, I think we showed more intent. Um, Ten Hag started to put in a lot more attacking players, brought in Sabitzer, but brought in Sancho, and we just looked a different team in the second half. And then obviously Rashford got the goal, and yeah, just ended the tie. Put the icing on the cake. So yeah, so we're through the quarterfinals, still in um three cup competitions, and yeah, we're in a we're in a, we're in good spirits. To me, I just feel like um you know we've been discussing a lot about how these players are preparing mentally, to be playing 3 games, 2 games a week. So it's just we just have to you know keep an eye out for how these players are gonna cope with you know having a very very hectic schedule, because
Congested, very much congested season, man. It's been
exactly.
one of the worst.
It's not gonna get any easier for me. It's not gonna get any easier from here. So um Ten Hag just has to keep rotating the squad, and you know taking out players that need to be taken out and putting in players that are fresh and ready to play. So I think Sabitzer needs to. I want Sabitzer to start against Fulham, and maybe the next Premier League game. So yeah, but yeah, I'm just hoping that we don't you know sort of fall off towards the end, because this is the. I don't think Manchester United have been in a position where they're playing, you know, you're playing in 4 cup competitions and still, trying to um get top 4. So it's gonna be interesting to see, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, big up Malcolm, man. Big up to everybody in the chat, man. Love and light to everybody. Alien Tenor, sort that browser out, lad. How can that browser be blocking you? How can the browser be blocking you? Big up Sean.
Hey guys.
How you doing, bro? You good?
Doing good.
Good luck.
How's sunny California? Yay.
This guy,
California.
not so sunny recently. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same thing, but it's been raining like crazy the past few days. Like had
Is
like
it
a
still
high
sunny
wind.
though? Is it still so? Is it cold? Is it cold rain or is it like warm rain?
In between. It's not so like I'm in Oakland. It never gets too cold. It never gets too hot. Like the
Okay.
weather kind of stays between like Fahrenheit stays between like 40 and like 80 degrees
Okay.
all the time. Well, big up everyone though. Big up everyone in the comments.
Yeah. Anybody but Irfan? Talk to me, Sean. Talk to me. How did you see the game tonight?
I mean, I felt like it was a professional game. Like we did the business. We did what we needed to do. On the game instead of like just drawing or losing but still going through. I think it was important that we actually won. I was glad to see Pellistri get a run out.
Mm-hmm.
I was so like that was good on his part. I think the manager would have been a little worried. I think Ten Hag would have been a little concerned if it was me, with kind of like how fluent or how fluid, sorry, our gameplay was. It was a bit like disjointed at times, but I think that was bound to happen because we were already 4-1 up. Overall, like a basic performance, a decent performance. Nothing to do but look forward. Look forward. We progressed. Arsenal just got knocked out.
One second, Irfan, if you're in the chat, I've sent you the link. Just click on it. There is there. Click on it. I've sent it to you as well, but click on it. Go ahead, Sean.
That's like Arsenal
I'm not gonna lie to you, Sean. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Arsenal wanted to get out of that competition a lot earlier.
I mean, I know how you feel about these extra competitions, but I think at the high level, I think a lot of these managers have the same mindset as Ten Hag, that a trophy is a trophy is a trophy. Get your boys into the groove of winning. Get your team into like the mindset of winning. Whatever competition you show up for, put your best foot forward. I would grant you that true. Arsenal has been playing a more rotated squad in the Europa League than we have. They actually play like their young players and everything, whereas we come in with our full squad all the time. So I guess it's fair that they've been knocked out, but I think that also puts Arsenal in a dangerous position. Because while I guess Champions League qualification is secure, if they end the season trophyless, that's a disaster. So it might be putting all your eggs in one basket, and everyone knows that that's not a wise thing to do. But yeah, no, good win for us today, man. Looking forward to the weekend, to the FA Cup. That's a bigger trophy in my eyes as well. So
100%.
so you can get past Fulham. I was glad to see Sabitzer back on the pitch. He looked good. He always looks good whenever he plays. I was happy with Maguire's performance. Steady, steady Eddie Maguire. Turning up. I think I saw there was a moment in this game today that just told me everything I needed to know about why Varane starts instead of Maguire. I don't know if you guys caught this moment, but there was a time Martinez was shouting at Maguire. Because of something he did, like he was slow on the ball, or he was slow like
because he wasn't scanning. He didn't scan. He didn't scan.
Yeah.
And he kept them on side. He's saying, "Stay with me," so we're in line. Maguire drops because he's scared of the pace behind him. And United play a different way now. But go ahead.
Yeah, no. So like it just clear that even though Maguire is the captain, I think quite clearly, like people like Martinez have like a bigger voice in the team or in the squad than he does. And they are the actual leaders, like of the back line, as opposed to the captain. But overall, like a very average, steady game from everybody. We did the business, and now we move on to the next phase. An easy, quiet, low-key win, and for us.
Pick up there, fan. How you doing, bro?
All good, yourself?
Yeah, good, man. I went to the Lowry to watch the Peaky Blinders, the dance, which was really good, actually. Really, really good.
They made it what? They made a dance about the Peaky Blinders series.
Oh, yeah. With a band on stage, really good.
Interesting.
Really, really good. A piece of band. I think it's the Ramran dance company. I think it is.
What's the dance company called?
I think they're called is it Ramland? I'll look it up.
I'm trying to work out what kind of dance piece they do to Peaky Blinders.
Yeah,
was
Peaky Blinders, right?
Was it contemporary style of it? Huh?
Just telling a story. It works. It perfectly works.
I don't think. I
watched 70 minutes of the game. I didn't watch all of it. I watched 70 minutes of it.
United game.
I saw the goal. I saw the substitutions that were coming on. But let's not get it twisted, people. The players look shattered. Absolutely shattered. And our passing in the first half and how slow we were to the ball. Yes, we can all point it out as Maguire. When we play with Maguire, we always have to play like that. Our games look disjointed. But at the end of the day, it's the fatigue, my guys. Fatigue, honestly. Go ahead, Ev. How did you see the game? You watched it?
Yeah, I watched the whole game. I mean, yeah, it was a very shaky first half. I won't lie. I don't know. I mean, you could say it's fatigue. I don't know whether it is just fatigue. I think a bit of quality and fatigue possibly today. I won't go in too hard on Maguire. I saw Martinez just shouting at him to get in line. I saw that, but look, we played against a very, very boisterous team. You know, this is the working class of Seville, Betis. You know, I've been to that stadium, 55,000 people, you know, and they're really behind their team. So I think we did well to weather that storm, because if they'd have scored early from their chances, we would have been under the cosh. So we managed to hang in there. We survived. We didn't play well at all. I wouldn't say in the first half. They played well. They had chances, but you can see why they're not a top tier team, because they haven't got the finishing. They haven't got the quality to finish us. They had the openings to even, you know, maybe take the lead, but we hung in there. Our play wasn't particularly good in the first half, even on the other end. And then in the second half, the game changed. You know, we managed to get some composure. You know, Rashford missed 2 amazing chances before he actually scored that world. You know, that worldie. It was a beautiful goal he scored. So, you know, I was quite happy the way, because we completely silenced the fans in the second half. I didn't hear a peep out of there was, you couldn't hear the United fans in the first half, but in the second half you could hear them, because obviously we quietened them down. We took control of the game in the second half. He made good substitutions. I thought Palestri had a brilliant game. For a full 90 minutes, I thought he played very, very well. Casemiro was there holding everything together. No one had an amazing game, but I'm just glad we got through that one, because that could have been a difficult game. Now, the weird thing is looking at the team, it's sort of like you're trying to work out, so how does he improve this? Where does someone get a rest? I mean, did he play Casemiro the full 90 minutes because he thought, well, he's not going to play for the next 3 or 4 games? What was that the reason? You're muted, Nuruddin. You're muted.
He's not playing. Of course, he's not playing the next 4 games. So of course,
That's why I made him play
he's
the
gonna have
full
a month off. He's having a flipping month off.
Right.
Other than the Europa League, we don't know who's gonna get. So in the next month, in April, he's going to be able to play in the Europa League in the quarterfinals of the games. Nobody got booked, did it? Did him and Bruno get booked? No.
Let me think. You got booked.
No. Neither of them did. No.
No.
They qualify for the next round, so they can play.
Yeah, I was watching the Arsenal game straight after as well, so I'm a little bit late. I always go on the FTV to watch when they lose. I always just to see the reaction. Always good. It's always good to watch that. But yeah, I mean, look, we should be happy because, you know, we turned it around. You know, it was a professional performance. I'm happy that we got through. Was it a good performance? Not particularly, no. You know, we're at a stage where it's game by game. Let's hope we can do it game by game, because, you know, we're not going to be. I don't think we're going to suddenly find this sharpness that everyone may want, or this fatigue try and get through it or whatever. I just don't think we are. Maybe Marshall might bring something if he ever plays again. I don't know, but we just need little bits. Sancho doesn't look particularly sharp. Oh, I was very angry with him when he didn't lay that. I know it was offside, but when he didn't even think of laying it onto Elanga at the end, I was like, "What are you doing, man? What you do?" And also, I don't understand this Maguire captain thing, man. What's going on here? I don't understand why he plays and he gets the armband. What the hell is this? We look stupid. Give it to Bruno. And keep Bruno. It doesn't matter if I think he plays or not. Who gives a crap? I don't understand this. It really does my nothing when I see that. You know, and
come on, everyone don't know.
Huh?
It's political now, like, you know.
Oh, it's a joke, man. It's a joke. How can you have a guy who doesn't play all the games, and you got a guy who is the captain because he plays the games, Fernandez, and suddenly when this part-timer comes back in and plays, you get an armband? I mean, it's the most preposterous thing I can think of. I just don't understand what is Ten Hag doing. Ten Hag's meant to be this guy that, you know, that takes no BS and it does it his way. What is this? If I ever heard of some diplomacy, it's almost like Maguire's dad owns the club. That's what it's. That's the kind of only decision would make no sense to me. That would happen. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Though, just to get some context, 1 on the game and 2 on the Maguire captaincy thing. On the game, first of all, you know, we're coming to this game with a 3-goal advantage, having won the first game. I think it was 4-1 or was it 5-1?
4-1.
4-1. Yes, 4-1. So United players were bound to come into this game, regardless of whatever we say. They're professionals and everything, but they're also human. With the 3-goal advantage, you're bound to come into the game with a little slack, with a little, you know, carelessness, with a little lack of effort, with a little complacency. And your opponents are bound to come into the game with more energy than you, looking to prove their points, looking to show that, you know, the first game was a blip. So that's why I think the first half went the way it was. As far as I'm concerned, it was a steady game, and we always looked like we had too much quality for them. With respect to Maguire being the captain, I don't blame Ten Hag at all for keeping Maguire as the captain. Maguire is the captain on paper, but in spirit, everyone knows that that Bruno Fernandes is the captain of the club. I think the manager, you know, because it's a people management job, not just a tactical thing. You have to manage egos. You have to manage the dressing room. You have to balance the squad. Any one of us who has like junior brothers or younger siblings or has ever like managed people know that like despite the fact that something is right, sometimes you still have to, or something is wrong. Sometimes you still have to accommodate people. Ten Hag came into the squad, met a captain. It might have not been the wisest decision to start making enemies from the get-go by removing somebody from the captaincy. It just because you want to make a point. So, like for all intents and purposes, Maguire is the captain on paper, but in practice, Bruno is the captain of the squad, and it's fine to have it like that until Maguire gets sold or until the captainship like is resolved. It doesn't take anything away from Bruno as the captain. But on paper, like Maguire is the captain. I don't think this is the first time that this kind of thing has happened now. I think before Totti retired, he was the captain of Roma. Same thing goes for De Rossi. Before he retired, he was captain of Roma, but they weren't always starting games. Towards the end of his career, I think.
But Sean, you're comparing Totti, who is like he is Mr. Roma. I mean,
the only point I'm making is that you can have somebody who is the captain. The only point I'm making is that you can have somebody who is the captain who is not starting all the games. That's all. So somebody can be the captain on paper and somebody can be the captain in practice. And in United right now, Bruno Fernandes is our captain in practice. But on paper, Maguire is the captain, and the manager feels like he has to balance the squad.
I don't know. Listen.
Listen, I'm hearing a lot of like you're making excuses up for this BS, right? Like, wait. This is the same guy that got rid of Ronaldo. This is the same guy the same team that got rid of Ronaldo. It makes no sense that this guy comes on with the armband. This guy does not even get in the first team. It's a joke. I don't understand what people are telling me about seniority. You just got rid of Ronaldo, for God's sake. What are you talking about?
Listen. You have to pick your battle. You have to pick your battles, though, Irfan.
He doesn't listen. Okay, explain to me what he gives us. Explain to me what this guy gives us. What did he give us today? Did you see that amazing solid defense that we had because he played?
No. So Irfan, I'll tell you straight up. I don't think Maguire should be starting for us.
I'm amazed Sean. I'm amazed he has the sort of the guts to even take the armband. Only a coward would take that when you're not the best player and you shouldn't even deserve it. I don't understand how you, as a footballer, I would never take it. I would say you take it, bro. It's not a problem. I don't get it.
Listen, we'll come back to your debate. I want to hear from Mumbai and match reaction. But I'll just say this off the bat. The real captain when you're in the stadium is Martinez. The real captain is Martinez.
I'd agree with that one. I'll take that one any day, yeah.
The stadium, the real captain is Martinez. Or if not, Varane, really, when you watch the team.
No, it's it should be Varane, if not Martinez. One of them two at least.
Big up Mumbai. Mumbai, how did you see that game? I only watched 70 minutes of it. By the way, people are thinking I look sharp. You ain't seen nothing yet, people. I look sharper and dapper than this. You know, I ain't no fashion victim, but I know clothes. I have distinct colours and distinct thing combinations. Don't you worry about that. But if it comes to shirts, Irfan's got the deadliest shirt. Irfan dresses.
Hey, listen, like, I found you one. Hey, listen, I found you one.
Listen,
I found you one. Listen, you need to measure your chest. You need to measure it. Yeah, I need to get exact measurement. No, is it the arms? Well, measure them because this one gives me chest and arm length. It's a really interesting one. It's like a batik African style, West African print. There's two I've seen. I saw them yesterday, so you need to tell me. I need the arm measurement. What's your arm measurement?
Basically, Irfan goes to shopping in another universe. The shirts that he's got, I never see anybody else wearing it in my life.
Hang on, do you want me to I'll show you the latest one. Hang on. I'll show you the latest one.
Irfan is a proper fashion victim, people. He's a fashionista, original fashionista.
The latest one.
Honestly, some of his shirts, you never seen it. Look at that. You never seen it, I'm telling you guys.
Looks like a tablecloth, doesn't it? Yeah.
Next level print, man. I'm
tablecloth.
Honestly, Irfan is sharper than your average. The deadliest shit ever.
Yeah, I know. I've got a lot of Italian stuff. I try to find. I don't buy expensive. I used to buy expensive.
Let them know. Irfan used to regularly play in Milan. He used to go to Milan.
I used to go to Milan a lot. I used to DJ a lot of the fashion shows. GQ, Face, Arena ID. I used to do a lot of them. Yeah, but fashion to me, it's not about money. It's about whether you've got a look in your eye or not. When you look at things aesthetically, if you like, you like shapes and things. Like when I used to go to the fashion shows, the people in the fashion, in the world of fashion, they're not fashionable. They're in the world of fashion. That's something else. They think that's fashionable. Fashion's got nothing to do with that. Fashion is about having the eye. Like, look, Nuruddin, you see, he's got a nice top on there. He's tightened his button. It's not looking sharp. That's quite a dapper look, you see. It's all to do with the look and how you see things.
I went to see the Peaky Blinders, so I had to go. I had to Peaky Blinder up, mate. Peaky Blinder up.
All you're missing was the hat nerd, and that's all. I've got quite a few. I've got trilbies, I've got flat caps, Baker Boy hats. I could have got you loads, man.
Listen,
I don't know.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Bumbaye, before we get into in this challenge, you don't get politics. You get music, fashion. You get it all, people. You get it all. Bumbaye, you watched the game. Talk to me. How did you see that with your boy Maguire? Talk to me about your boy Maguire. Did he play good? Does he look good in the team?
He looked as good as Earthman's shirt, man. That's how he looked.
It was I'll show you some nice ones, don't worry.
First half, man, it was not a blinder. Let's put it that way. I was very disappointed. The team has got two problems, and these problems have to be addressed going forward next season. I think it'll be interesting who we sign. The problems that we have throughout this season is, and they're a prelude to each other. They're both connected. The first one is ball retention in Man United is no good. It's too. Everybody gets a rush of blood. We just want to keep going and going. No, man. Recycle that ball, and then you need somebody to be able to take the sting out the game. We don't have that person. Me and Jarvis and you spoke about this last night. You look at Bruno, you think he's good with the ball, but he's constantly looking to go forward, kill a pass. You don't have a player like a Jorginho, like an Alcantara, like a Scholes. Just kill that tempo. The game's getting away from us a little bit. They're getting a little bit boisterous. Put some water on that fire. We don't know how to do that, this team. And you're going to have to make that part of your repertoire at Man United. So whether we're missing Eriksen, but we need that to come into play at Man U. And the game today, man, was like, for me, I gave the boys the parable of a boxer that's clearly won 9 out of 10 rounds. He's miles ahead on the scorecards, and then he gets into a fight in the last round and he's getting licked up. That was the first half. I couldn't understand it. Just relax. Do you know what I mean? You're miles ahead here. And it was terrible. So, as usual, second half, I'm sure he had a lot to say to him. We came out. I think that goal just took the wind out their sails completely from Rashford. That was the end of it, effectively. They just went through the motions. And we're through. We're through. But I would have liked to have seen a better, more composed, classy performance, more professional. It was a bit, squeaky bum in the first half, man. I didn't like it. And Maguire, man, Maguire's not a Man United player. I think Maguire's forgotten everything that made us buy him. He looks uncomfortable. He doesn't look confident. He's got size, man. He's got to use his head a little bit more. You don't have to be rapid all the time. You have to be a bit smart, but he just doesn't look like a player. He's not looked like a player for ages. And for me, he's always been a cumbersome player that takes way too long on the ball. He looks up as if he's pale. Just get the ball out your feet quickly, man. Don't slow our football down. It does my head in.
Maguire. Can I just, sorry to interrupt, you can just say, don't you think that, when I watch McTominay now, what you just said about Maguire, that's how I feel. I don't think McTominay can play in his team anymore. I watch him and think he doesn't belong in his team. That's how I see it, what you're saying about Maguire.
No, I disagree with that, bro.
No, I'm just saying to you, you described Maguire, this is exactly how I see McTominay. Exactly how I see him right now.
I get you, and I'm sure you're not the only one. McTominay is not a fan favourite. I like him. I think he's got a part to play for this team, but depends how you deploy him. I think the problem with McTominay is if you ask McTominay to do a job of discipline, he seems to lose his bearings and coordinates on the pitch. And that's how people punch holes through the midfield. But if you give McTominay a bit of a license to play alongside someone like Casemiro, you get to see a guy that is at his best when he's allowed some freedom to go box to box. I remember under Oli, some of the richer veins of form of the team involved him breaking lines, moving forward. And, he can score a goal. I think he got 5 or 7 goals in one season. And he was on a rich vein of form, and he was surprising all of us. Like, wow, this boy's got a little bit about him. But when you're saying to him, look, I need you to know where you are constantly on the pitch, know where your other midfielder is, know where the opposition is, look at the distances, he gets a little bit lost. So he's got strengths and weaknesses
too.
He's got strength. What was that, Sean?
No, provide an option like that. That's one of his biggest shortcomings. Like, you know, the way Casemiro opens up himself to receive the ball from the defenders, McTominay hides a lot of the time. Like that's not his strong suit.
Yeah, you have to know where to, you know, with whom and what job you're asking McTominay to do. And I think that's the issue. But there's good attributes about him, and you know, I mean, well, I like him. I think he's got his part to play. But you can't put Fred and McTominay together like we used to, and expect us to progress the ball forward. It's going to be difficult to do that. You play either Sabitzer or Casemiro with one other of those two. And obviously you don't give them that job that Casemiro does. Casemiro, one of his best attributes for me is his positional sense, how he senses danger and puts out a fire before it ignites. Those guys can put fires out. They're aggressive, they're tenacious, they've got stamina and energy, but it's not done with the same, it's not done the same way as Casemiro does it. Let's put it that way. Pellistri was good though. I enjoyed watching him.
Yeah, Pellistri looked right. I thought he looked, and it was unlucky not to score. Hit the post, didn't he? I really wanted that to go in for him just for his confidence, but I thought he was busy. What I like about him is that sometimes he goes on the outside and crosses it. Other times he likes to come in and play off the player. But the yellow card, can we talk about the yellow card, please, guys? What the hell was going on there? What the
referee?
Does anybody think that he moves?
I didn't clock that yellow card. I saw it, but I didn't really pay attention to what actually went on.
It was nonsense. Like I think he slipped.
No,
you know, he even pulled his leg back.
Yeah, he slid in, won the ball clear. Player runs into him, and then he gets the yellow card. It's just like,
yeah. In a way, like I feel like Pellistri needs to hit the gym. You know, he has some sparks of quality here and there, but to me, he looks a bit too like. And this is not to like. Granted, he's a young player,
his first start today, Sean. First ever start.
First start. No, I hear
very harsh. Very harsh, that Sean. Very harsh.
You know what? 800. I think it's 860 something days. First ever start for Man United.
But you know, Sean.
No, Listen, Sean. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is that like he seems a little lightweight. He has qualities that we all like. I like the fact that he's able to beat a player, go around the defender, and cross the ball. But I need him to stock up a little. Like, so once the summer break comes, I want Pellistri in the gym. If he doesn't go on loan, I want him in the gym. I want him eating protein and vegetables. Come back next season, buff. You know, ready to attack like defenders.
Listen, Sean. Listen, I know people who know him. Can you get some of that Nigerian diet for him, bro?
What, like you eat jollof rice, chicken, things like that, yeah? A yam and all that kind of
give him like let him just straight up jollof rice, pounded yam, you know. Like,
there you go.
No man, he needs a goosey and yam.
Yeah, no, as well. Listen, and hot pepper soup as well. Listen, that is food that you can only eat in Nigeria.
And okra soup.
Exactly.
Oh, come on, guys.
All the above. Come back swole as fuck next year.
That only works for Nigerians in Nigeria. Don't work anywhere else. Only in Nigeria.
But like Irfan and guys, don't you people think that? I think part of what has helped Rashford, in my opinion, is that Rashford has he hit the gym. Like you can see clearly, Rashford is fitter, and like you know he came back this season in much better shape. I think a lot of these players, you know, as they develop, they start off like, you know, small size and everything. Unless you're Messi, unless you're somebody who the ball sticks to your leg, and even someone like Messi. Messi's stronger, a lot stronger than like than he looks. I think Pellistri needs to bulk up a bit.
He's still young.
He's young, but Sean, it's got nothing to do with size anymore. Spanish football changed that. You saw how little these guys are. You saw, I mean, Sterling. Look how big Sterling. He's tiny.
No, but
He's tiny, man.
those guys are deceptively strong. Like they're
No,
tiny, but
Woozy,
they have.
Woozy's saying we don't want him looking like Sean.
I know. Listen, Nuruddin. I stood next to Shaw. I was DJing in the Ivy restaurant, okay, right? And he walked past me, right? I had to look twice to say that can't be Luke Shaw, because I couldn't believe how thick set he was. He's one of the most thick set left backs I've ever seen in my life. In that Sunday league, any spring. I was shocked because I used to also DJ. What's he called? What's the Arsenal left back called? Their legend. What was he called? The English one.
Ashley Cole.
Oh,
Ashley Cole, yeah. So Ashley Cole used to also come, right? Ashley Cole was beanpole thin, okay, right? Beanpole thin. You know, you could push him down. When I stood next, I was like, wow, how can this guy be a professional footballer, right? So it's not to do with, Sean, that's the old school way of thinking. It's nothing to do with size. You can be little and be strong.
He should get stronger.
Leslie and Garnacho, they will get stronger. They're just young boys at the moment. They've got to grow. They don't have to go lift weights. I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe in lifting weights, but it's not so about that. Strength will come in lots of different ways. You know, I'm amazed. Look, I gotta love this channel. Everyone knows what ground food is. I mean, respect to everyone who knows what ground food is. Have you seen in the comments? I gotta give it to. I didn't even know people knew what that was. But listen, guys, that's old school Nigerian way. That's the old. We don't need the Nigeria. We can have a different diet, high protein, different amount of carbs. You know, they know what they're doing, man. You know, these. Don't worry about Palestri and Garnacho. They're gonna get. I mean, I made the point already when we saw when Garnacho was a few feet away from me a few months ago. I can't remember which game it was we went to, and I went, "Wow, he's actually not as small as he looks on TV. He looks very small on TV, but he's not that small." None of these guys. Let me just say, guys, when you go to the game and you look at these players, they're athletes. They look like professional athletes. They might look a bit small on TV and stuff like that. Go to the ground and stand 6 feet away from them, and you'll see. When I saw Varane, I was like, "Oh my Lord, look at this guy!"
Right,
you know, already seen him.
Yo, big up everybody. Listen, let's go. Big up Jarvis. Big up everybody in the chat. Yep. Love and like to everybody. Let's get into it, people. Big up Jarvis. Jarvis says the last 8 teams are Sevilla, Feyenoord, Juventus, Bayer Leverkusen, Union
Saint-Gilloise. Okay.
Yeah. AS Roma, Sporting. Who do you want? I'll start with you, Tom, and then Malcolm, then Bombay, Irfan, then Sean. So each one of you can't pick the same. Actually, you can pick whatever you want. But who do you want? Who do you want?
Honestly,
who do you want, and who do you not want?
No. Listen. You know what? Let me answer that question. I want the easiest distance on a plane.
You start us off then, Nuruddin. Go on. You start us off.
It's Feyenoord or Bayer Leverkusen. They're the closest, aren't they? They're the closest in terms of the UK. So I either want Bayer Leverkusen or Feyenoord.
I think they are, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Union State-Gilles is in Belgium, the winters. That's close.
Yeah. So that might be an hour as well, or whatever. But Feyenoord for me, because it's only an hour away. It's an hour flight.
Wait, you're not making judgments on quality of team. You're making judgments on how close they are.
Because fatigue. I don't care. Honestly, guys, watching that first half, yeah, Man United are bad at possession. But players look so fatigued. It was unbelievable. I don't know what some of the people are watching. The fatigue, the level of fatigueness in these players, it's unbelievable. So to me, I'm wanting the shortest distance flight, because it's not even that, Irfan. It's the recovery time. When you fly back, it's the recovery time, right? Luckily tonight was the early kickoffs, so by now they must be landing by now. They must be landing back in Manchester by now, or maybe in 40 minutes. Tonight.
Okay.
But yeah. But
there's some rationale to what you're saying. Fair enough.
Listen, that's what I want. Irfan, when you've travelled, me and you go to London, we're fatigued.
Yeah, I'm knackered for 2 days, mate. I'm knackered for 2 days.
Exactly. Imagine flying and then playing, acclimatizing. You're only there for a couple of hours because you're in a different weather, different system. And then your body come back, and then you have to play the next game in the Premier League. Go ahead, Tom.
Honestly, I don't think there's a team that I'd want to avoid in any of this, because I think we can set a lot. But just put the teams back up though, anyway, for everybody else anyway. But honestly, I want the hardest one out of all of them, and the hardest one out of all of them, and I'll say it point blank until I'm blue in the face. I want Seville. I want to play Sevilla. I want to overcome that stumbling block from last time. I want to see these improvements. Yeah. I want to get over that hurdle and get that line, because I think if you knock out Seville, or Sevilla in this case, then I think you could go on and win it. I don't buy this with Juventus because I think Juventus, listen, they'll turn up one day and they're brilliant, next they're not so much. The other teams, I think, when they fight it off against themselves, like Roma and like Sporting, them kind of clubs, like they'll pick each other off in many cases as they get to the latter stages, and only one of them will be like the standout one out of all of those sort of quality of clubs. But no, I want Seville. I want to overcome that stumbling block and listen, take the experienced, people in this competition out of the equation is what I would do. Juventus, they ain't really got much experience in this sort of competition or league in. And then from there on, I'd take Juventus in a final. I'd take Roma, Sporting. I'd take any of them in a final. Sevilla in a final, I think it's a bit different. That's why I'd rather take them out sooner rather than later in the competition. If we do go on further.
Hold it there 1 second. Let me just get this Nick Nash, because I'm old enough to remember this goal. If you're old enough, that goal against Scott against Ramsdale reminded me of Naeem's goal against.
Yeah, I remember that goal very well.
That was the cup with the scup. Yeah, old Gunners must have been having a deja vu. That happened today.
Honestly, no, did you see this goal today? Did anybody see this goal today? Did anybody see it?
I saw the goal quickly on Twitter.
I was watching it live, Nuruddin. What one hell of a goal that was. I mean, looking on the shot around to the player, Arsenal supporters' faces. And I swear to God, they had their hands to the mouth like.
Could never be my keeper, that fan. Could never be my keeper.
Honestly, it was a top level goal. That was.
Tom, who you having then? What team?
I've said it facts. I'll have Seville next.
Seville, okay. Go ahead, Malcolm. Who you having?
I'm not gonna lie. I would actually want. I'd say maybe one of the the easier teams, maybe like a Union Saint-Gilloise or like a final or something. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like with the games that we're playing now, if we get say like a Seville or an Juventus and we get knocked out easily, I just don't think these players will be able to cope with that, especially like a team with Seville who actually play with high intensity. I don't think these players can cope with that, especially with the schedule that we have. So I'd say let's get I'll probably pick like a Union Saint-Gilloise, you know what I mean? Just get out of the competition, ease it out, and then when you get to if you get to like the semis, then we can get like a tough team. So, yeah, that's the way I see it. But yeah.
Yeah, Bombay, if you're there, go.
Yeah, boys. As the season goes on, we're starting to not play as well, a bit more regularly than I'd like it. You can say fatigue and stuff. But I think we've got a way to go to call ourselves a top team and be challenging for the major honours yet. We'll see where we are at the end of the season. I do not want to play Sporting. I think they're a very, very dangerous team. I think that they could bust us up.
Easily.
Do you know what I mean? And obviously, Jose will, he knows how to win a game. I want to take Saint-Gilloise. I'll take them. But I'd like to avoid Sporting and Roma at this point.
Okay. Irfan, go.
Yeah, fair comment. I mean, it's a tough question, this one, because if you're playing well, it doesn't matter if you get an easy game, you get a tough game, you're going to win. Sevilla are not the team they normally are. I would go with you, Tom, and say, yeah, that's a good call, because we have got a psychological sort of like stumbling thing in our mind against them. But they're 13th in the league. They're not the typical strong Sevilla team of old. They're just not in form this year. They're mid-table. They're not happening. So I reckon that could be an easier game than normal. Now, having watched Sporting today, right? I was shocked at how well these guys can play. If they had a finisher, they'd be a deadly team, man. I mean, I know it was like the game was very to and fro. The way they started, I was watching their passing game in the start of watching. They had something like 60% possession against Arsenal at home in the first 15, 20 minutes. They ran the game. I couldn't believe how good they were. And then they had, they hit stumbling block, and Arsenal, because a professional team, come back into it. and backwards and forwards. Edwards missed an amazing chance to finish the game off. Really, in normal time. I mean, what a chance he had! Completely opened up by Sporting. So Sporting are one of my favorites. Having watched them today, if we played the way we did today and they played the way they did today, they'd beat us. They would beat us hands down. That wouldn't be a contest.
Fun fact anyway, fan. Man United actually had Ruben Amore, the Sporting Lisbon coach. They had him in their shortlist of managers when they were picking in the actual summer, but they didn't put him as one of the main Sporting targets because they put Julian Lopetegui in ahead of him when he was still at Seville at the time, and then obviously he left to go to Wolves. But who are you taking the Nerf fan?
Well, look, they're a very, very fast team, man. They're very. I mean, what they is that final pass. They can't do it. They never get it right. So I look for an easy one because I want to sustain the competition just for morale's sake. I mean, I know I should have to get them out, but I'd take the Belgium team, the Union Saint-Gilloise. I'd take them. I would take the Belgium team. I think Roma would be a sticky one. Seville, possibly. Sevilla could be. Feyenoord, God knows, the German teams. Is it Leverkusen? Who else is it? Is it just
Leverkusen? Bayer Leverkusen, the Sevilla, Juventus, Leverkusen.
Yeah, Juventus would be that would also. I just don't know if we. To me, they look like low block teams.
Feyenoord, Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, Feyenoord, that would be the other one. Yeah.
Roma, Sporting.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Roma. I wouldn't want Juventus. I could take all the rest. Actually, no, I wouldn't take Sporting either. So I wouldn't want Sporting, Roma, and Juventus. I'll take the rest. Yeah.
Fans running scared. Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, honestly, I can't see us beating defensive teams. I just can't, especially Italian ones, especially Jose's. You know what he's going to be like, 10 behind the ball.
Oh, I mean, come on. Yeah, we know what Mourinho's all about, don't we? At the end of the day. Anyway,
so I'm saying Union Saint-Gilloise, but I don't know anything about them. Has anyone seen them play? Are they any good?
Well,
I'm not seeing
they've got this far, haven't they?
Listen, I don't like the competition. Listen, let's go to Sean. Big up Nick Nash. Nick Nash. I was at the game when Beckham scored that goal against Wimbledon. What a goal! Honestly, I was in a car listening to it on the radio, and I couldn't wait to watch it on Match of the Day. I was going crazy. I was like, I want to see this goal.
The one today, right? The one today is worth watching. Just to see Ramsdale's face as he tried to get back into net to save it. It's worth watching. Look at his face when he's trying to get back in. Honestly, it's worth gold watching that goal.
Yeah. Listen,
I think
go ahead, Sean.
I don't think we can look at these things in a vacuum. So, Irfan was saying about how if we played Sporting the way they play today versus the way we play today, we would lose. Yeah. I don't think we can look at football like that. We beat Barcelona. Barcelona is ahead, is beat from Madrid. Madrid beat Liverpool. Liverpool beat us. Like, football is not math. Like, you can't look at it like that. The only team I really didn't want to play was Arsenal, and now they're out. As far as I'm concerned, I believe in the Ten Hag mantra. To be the best, you have to beat the best. So I say bring anybody on. Any one of these teams, bring them on. If we lose, it's because, they're the better team than us over 2 legs. And if we win, it means that we're where we are. I don't think it's fair to expect the team to remain consistent on the same level throughout the whole season. There's no team in the world that does that. You would always have high and low ebbs. The important thing, the mark of a quality team, is to find a way to win when you're in your low period. So like today, we won. Even though we didn't play very well. But to expect us to maintain the same high performance level throughout the season, I think is a bit unfair. I think we're in a down period right now. The manager has to find a way to rejig some things, but we're going to get into form again. We might have another down period, but it would go up and down like that. So if we lose, it wouldn't be because we're playing against a team that's better than us, because I don't think any of these teams that are remaining are better than us. It would be because we didn't show up on the day. And, we're talking about the cup competition, 120 minutes of football. The fact that you think it's a given to beat Union Saint-Gilloise or whatever their name, I think you might be underestimating them. Arsenal didn't come with their full strength squad against Sporting. They rested some players. They don't take this tournament as seriously.
Odegaard and Saka Saka came on second half, and Odegaard came on right at the end of the game.
Yeah, listen, big up 1 second, Sean. Big up Alien 10 will try again. Big up Adrian Coronas. He says Arian says this. Feyenoord, Ten Hag. No, it was PSV that beat them in the cup final, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't Feyenoord.
Yeah, I'm sure it was PSV. No, hang on there again. But Sean makes actually a valid point of the whole show. I would say the valid point today why you can't really make sort of decisions, as in, you know, to judgments or anything. It's
No, it's
because
hypothetical, innit? It's just a hypothetical.
no, it's
fun.
because there isn't. But the overarching point of this whole thing that needs to be made by even after leaving the show is the fact that we were winning by 3 goals. We were winning 4-1. So it's how can you actually judge the mindset of the team when you're 3-1 ahead? You know, you don't want to be gung ho, do you?
Perfect, Irfan.
Yeah.
We know that Bruno and Rashford are absolutely fatigued. Why did he play? Why did he start Rashford tonight? He didn't need to start Rashford. We're already three goals up.
Yeah.
Why did he start Rashford? And I'll go around you, all of you. To me, it didn't seem like Rashford is fatigued. You can see not making the right decisions. So I'm going to start with you. We'll go to Sean, then Bumbaye, turn to Tom, then Malcolm. So go ahead, Irfan. You break it down to me. I was shocked that Rashford was playing tonight. I don't
know, Nuruddin, because this is what he does. He tries to pick his best team possible, as close to his best team all the time. He, you know, like this idea of rotation is, I don't really think he sort of sees that. I don't think he works that sort of way, because like, I was thinking to myself, as soon as he scored that goal, I mean, he did take him off quite soon after he scored, didn't he, Rashford? It wasn't long after he scored, because I would have taken him off the minute he scored. I mean, keep him on for maybe 1/2, fair enough, but I just don't think I don't think he's got any options. I mean, if he didn't play Rashford, what would you have done today? So I don't think he's got a choice.
Sancho on. Sancho, start Sancho.
Sancho's offering nothing at the moment. Let's be honest. He's not offering anything.
I'm sorry. Listen, you're winning 3-0. You know what? If they would have scored, yeah, Rashford comes on. I understand that, but you don't start him. I'm sorry. I thought that was one of the worst decisions. I know Bruno is written in blood for Bruno. Rashford uses more energy because he's forward and he's playing out wide and he's up and down. Bruno,
all right. By your logic, no, Nuruddin, by your logic, to say what the team should have been today, by your logic, starting team, right? Probably Dalot, right back.
No. Listen, Malacia, Wan-Bissaka needed more game time. Maguire, I would have played Lindelof, but Malacia
Lindelof did come on. Lindelof came on second half, yeah.
Casemiro would have played. Fred, he loves Fred, so Fred most likely would have played. But Rashford, I would not have started.
But 1 second, doesn't Fred need the rest?
Listen, Irfan, this is not the game to effing start Rashford. I argue this with anybody till the cows come home. To me, it was 3-0 up already. It was 3-0 up already.
I'm somewhere in the middle of both of you. I agree with Irfan in the sense that that's just right now. That's who Ten Hag is. That's just who he is. Like that's exactly who he is. And I think it might be unfair of us to expect different from him. This goes to the tactic and the approach that he took 3-0 down against Liverpool. That's who the guy is. He's going to attack and he's going to play his best team. I think where I kind of agree with Nuruddin as well is that, hello, Mr. Ten Hag, you've been here for 9 months. If you're saying you cannot play a game when you're 3-0 up without benching Bruno and Rashford, then there's a problem. But I think where I'm kind of in the middle is that I think Ten Hag is trying to instill a mindset. I think he's trying to send a message to these players that come rain, come sun, come snow, come whatever, if I'm putting out my best team because I want you guys to imbibe this attitude of it's every game is a must win. So he's trying to pass that message across to the squad. I think when we get to a level where, you know, the entire squad is on the same wavelength, I think you might start to see a bit more rotation. But for now, I think he's just trying to pass that message across that, you know, best foot forward, guys. Every game we play, we're going at it 100%. We're playing our best team, and we want to carry that attitude towards. I think that's why he started Rashford and Bruno.
Go ahead, Tom. Why do you think Rashford started?
With Rashford starting?
Why did he start Rashford? You can tell he's fatigued.
He's asking you, Tom. He's asking you why. Why did he start Rashford today? He's asking you.
Because I'll give you the reasons why I think he has started him for so many games he has, even including tonight. Probably because he's the only source of goals. Like, as a team, we haven't, you know, recently anyways, we haven't really scored many goals other than coming through Rashford. Like, and I think he has set the precedent. Yes, you need a talisman in this game, and this is why I say we need that number 9 who can take the pressure off of players like Rashford, where you have another player who can score 20 plus goals a season. Like, we thought Martial and Rashford were going to hit it up like they did a couple of seasons ago, where both of them got 20 plus goals in that one season. But obviously, it's not worked out in the way for Martial it has done Rashford. You've had players like Garnacho who, you know, chip in maybe 5 goals. Palestri might chip in maybe 2 or 3 toward the end of the season, but Weghorst is not a reliable source of goals. Fernandes might get you, luckily, maybe 10. Casemiro 5. Like, we don't have enough players that can consistently score so many more goals, and that's why.
Well, we could have bought him on.
Yeah, but but come on, like I understand where people are saying that. Yes, we are playing him far too much in the game, but
It's
if you do
affecting his game, Tom. Have you not seen what he's doing lately?
Oh yeah, of course I do. Of course I can see what he's doing and everything with it. But I do look at it and think, so he's going to play Alanga, he's going to play Palestri, Weghorst. Like they've never played together ever before. And if Real Sociedad took those chances that they did in the game, in terms of keeping consistency as well with goal scoring, like I do think it's wise in terms of if Rashford does score in a game, it keeps him hungry and the momentum's there to keep scoring. But obviously, I would look at something like the international break, and I would have been praying that Gareth Southgate didn't pick him. I know in a scenario that he probably was always going to, but when a player can have, say, that rest stuff that they need, it would be perfect for Rashford to have that. But he's not had the chance to drop players like Rashford. And this is the problem. This is why I think, anyway, we need more. We need at least a clinical goal scorer in the summer. Because if we bring that player in, you might not have had to play Rashford tonight. Because if you have a clinical number 9 you can throw the ball in the box like Napoli were doing yesterday with Victor Osimhen, for example. You have players who can do like we know Palestri can put a ball in the box. Alanga, they can stick balls in the box at the end of the day. They might not be pinpoint, but if you can have a player that can get on the end of them, he'll get you 20 plus goals a season. Same thing with if you go for Harry Kane. He'll get you 20 goals a season. Takes the pressure off players like Rashford where you might not have to play them tonight. And then
it's shocking for me. Honestly.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it's shocking, but we don't. But look at it from this perspective. Just as the final point, though. This is the final point, though, right? The drop off in quality, though, when you take Rashford out of the team, it's as if you don't have a goal threat because Weghorst is not a clinical goal scorer. Palestri is more of a creative player. Garnacho is probably the next best thing out of the front line. Sancho's more of a creative player than he is a goal scorer. So Rashford, this is what I'm saying, where you're relying everything of your source of goals at this moment in time on Marcus Rashford. And when he doesn't play, like you saw with West Ham, for example, you didn't play him in that game. We absolutely had pretty much hardly any chances in that game at all. And we had to bring him on anyway in the game. So he's never going to have a full 90-minute rest because, like we say, when you take Martinez and Varane out of the team, the drop-off in quality is massive. And this is what I mean. We have squad depth, yes, but we don't have the quality of squad depth that our rivals have. And that's the difference. And that's the point why I did agree with you when you said to go and get someone like Leandro Trossard, because he's a player that you could have rotated and brought into, say, a game
100%.
Like tonight for Rashford.
100%. And everybody laughed at me. But who's laughing now, innit? Big up Jarvis. Jarvis says, Union saying Galuz is in the second Belgium league. I only know one player, Victor Boniface. He was really good for Bondo Gimp last year. 5 goals in the Europa.
Buddha Gimp.
Yeah, one to watch out for. Yeah, 100%. Big up. That's what I'm saying to you. Knowledgeable as ever, Jarvis. Listen, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just ridiculous for me. For me,
Well, I'm going to just to finish up.
I'm going to go to Mumbai and then I'll come back to you.
I'm just going to say just to the point from Tom though. Basically, what Tom is saying, in other words, is that it's still 6 months into a rebuild, so we're just exposing the deficiencies of the squad. That's what that's like having your hands tied in.
They'll get sorted in the summer, though. That's the thing. Yeah. But if you as soon as you get that striker, you won't have to rely on Rashford in the game like tonight because you'll have that player there that can do the job for you. And obviously, players like Garnacho and stuff will be more experienced and they're able to step up on occasions like tonight. So when you bring in more quality and more players to play this style of football, who are familiar with it, for example, then you won't have to rely on Rashford as just your only source of goals, because it's almost as if at the moment it's Rashford or bust, because if you take away his goals that you've had this season, where the hell would we be right now?
Nowhere.
You wouldn't win the Wolves game, you wouldn't win majority of the games that you've won, maybe 1-0 and nicked it, but...
Listen, I understand.
We wouldn't have won today. We wouldn't have won today without Rashford.
Listen, big up Windy. Windy says, Tom, you realise that's exactly the same rationale why Ollie was playing Rashford every game. No, but the difference that Windy, Rashford was so unfit. No, he had injuries, multiple injuries, and Ollie was still playing him to death. I was going to the stadium. I'm telling you now, every time clutching his ankle, clutching his shoulder, every time he went down, he was injured in a lot of pain. He came out himself. Rashford said, I couldn't get my boot on properly. Go ahead, Bumbaye, and then we'll go to Malcolm, and then we'll end it there. Go ahead.
Sometimes
would you have not liked to have seen him being rested and Sancho started tonight, just for him to come on?
I mean, Eric Ten Hag said that he's going to play his strongest side in the press conference, and that's what he's doing. He gets his best players together, looks at the next game, and bang, goes for it. And I think Eric Ten Hag, it's a really interesting season. You're going to find out, Eric's finding out about everybody. It's not easy to say to anybody right now, right? You know what? Rashford's not playing today. Sancho, can you step up? Can you fill that stead? It's not easy to just do that. So I think sometimes as well, players feed off whoever's playing next to them. Rashford lifts everybody at the minute. He carries this team. He takes the mantle. He wants to be the main man. And I have to take my hat off to him. The guy has grabbed his season and he's just running with it. So Ten Hag, maybe that's it as well. Because you know what? This game, yeah, we went with a nice cushion. But, Ten Hag knows as the manager what's happening. And if they would have scored that early goal, they had some good chances, man. De Gea got us out of trouble today as well. Could be a long night. Could be a long night. Imagine you're chasing the game. You're having to work extra hard. You don't need all that shit. Could have been a very different type of game. Higher intensity, more mental sap, being aware because, their tails are up, the fans are behind them. Just that early goal that they should have got, you know what, could have been a different night. So maybe that's it, bro. But I mean, he did take him off. He took him off, I think, at 60 minutes, something like that, 65 minutes. So he does in-game rotation. That's what he seems to do, Ten Hag. He'll give you a little 20-minute break here, maybe a half an hour break there. Other players will get the minutes, stay with the flavour, and you'll get a little rest. So he does in-game rotation, but he always seems to start.
But honestly, we were 3-0 up in the game. They've not. You bring him on when they score, but if they would have scored. But
listen, Last question. Promise.
No. Let me just.
Do you guys think we're the best team in this competition?
No, by any means, no. Let me just.
Yes, I do.
Let me just get the super chat. Big up Abdi says, "Well, I wear the best. Well, I wear back. No, we're not back yet. But thank you. You're getting a bit too giddy for my liking. But we're not back yet, and we're not the best by any means. Big up Alien Tenor says Zayn Banjovi shot down in blaze of glory. Shot down in a blaze of glory. Same Yassi, where are you? But big up Abdul. What a name. Wow.
Where's that already?
A's, mate. The triple A's, my brother, from my part of the world. The dynamic of football usually works when someone steps down, others step up. Yeah, 100%. 100%, Jarvis, 100%. So when people are saying, oh, yeah, Rashford's been the guy to score the goals. But for me, we would have answered everybody's question. Lilas's questions about Sancho. Sancho should have started tonight. He's not played a lot, so he should have started tonight. Rashford should have been on the bench. That's me personally. I would not even took Rashford over there, me personally. And that Martial, that absolute muppet needs to step up as well. What is he getting paid for? None of these are talking about him. He is a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Listen, we're 3 away from 100 likes. Come on, give us.
He might be a disgrace, but we need him though.
Listen,
he might be a disgrace.
Malcolm, go ahead. Why do you think Rashford played tonight? I'd rather play Irfan, Sean, Bumbaye, Malcolm, all of you. I would have played Tom tonight instead of Rashford.
Honestly, I think given the filters that we have in the squad, I don't think Ten Hag really had the choice of benching Rashford. I think just because that we have a lot of players missing, and we have to win as much games as we need. And just I think taking out Rashford and then starting Sancho and sort of rotating the squad and and just making a lot of changes. I don't think he would have I just don't think he would have benefited a lot from that. But I don't think he played Rashford just for the sake that he wants to play Rashford and he's on form. But I think just because of just because of just because we don't really have a lot of squad depth, we whether whether or not people don't like it or not, we have to play our full. Sometimes we have to play our full strength squad, and until we can actually get like proper backup players, I just feel like it's just gonna be like this for quite some time. It's gonna be like this for a while, until we can get some backup. But um honestly, I just feel like even today, like even though we played our full strength squad, we um I don't think we played like a full strength. Like a lot of players were, they're fatigued, and we can't really take a lot. We can't really take anything away from that. But um, I just feel like now because Ten Hag that I just feel like now because Ten Hag that doesn't we don't really have a lot of depth in our squad. Ten Hag is really Ten Hag is having to play his full strength squad. But um I think once we get like proper backup, then that's when Ten Hag can now he can change it up, make some changes, rotate it. And so yeah, um just, I'm it'll be interesting to see um how we utilize the squad for the FA Cup against Fulham. um I don't. I'm not. I'd say I don't think Rashford will start, but it's more
What?
likely he will.
Of course,
Sorry.
he's going to start.
Well, I don't know, but I think um I feel like it's more likely it's gonna start, but um I think now just because that given that Casemiro has 4 red cards in the Premier League, I think that's also another reason why he had to play him in this game because um no, we just don't really have a lot of um midfield backup for
100%, Malcolm,
yeah.
100%. Big up Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin, as they say in the darts in Shanghai, Rashi got his 125th United career goal tonight. Well done to Marcus. Yeah, and he's also the youngest player to score 25 goals in all European competition for Manchester United. So big up to Rashford for that. But he didn't need to start tonight, honestly. He looked fatigued. If you're watching that game, you see it, honestly. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Let me get people social media. Make sure, please, you're following man like Irfan Rainey on Twitter. Make sure you follow him, Irfan Rainey on Instagram as well. Music and politics on Twitter. Music on
I'll
Instagram.
give you advice on shirts as well if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Irfan, you need to get the shirts on there, man. And
Listen, I told you, man. I need the measurement. I'm gonna order it today. I need the measurement.
Extra large, extra.
No, I know that, but what is it? What is 42 or 44?
I think it's 44. I think my chest.
You think?
If it's extra large,
It's coming from another country, I need to know today. It's coming from a different country.
It's 44.
Yeah,
and the long arms, mate. Long arms. Listen,
no, this is a short. It's a summer shirt, Nuruddin. Yeah, you'll thank me when you see it, okay?
Listen, I'll say this now. Irfan Rainey on there. If you want some shirts as well from Extraterrestrial Fashion. If you want fashion from
you'll thank me forever when you get these nice shirts. You'll thank me forever, I promise.
So check out Irfan, yeah. So Irfan Rainey on Twitter and Irfan Rainey on Instagram. Make sure you go and check out Sean Thomas at Sean Thomas on Twitter, and don't forget the podcast How We See Things, geopolitical, covering all of it. Right? You follow each other, Irfan. Me and you are gonna go onto his podcast. So you need to invite me and Irfan onto your podcast, Sean.
Oh no, without a doubt, man. If that's something you guys are interested in, for sure.
Listen, that's what you need to do. And then don't forget as well, Malcolm at Malcolm Kisa on Instagram
Cleaser,
on
Malcolm
Twitter.
Cleaser, Nuruddin Cleaser.
On Twitter as well. And then the YouTube channel is MK United 19. So go and check that out as well, with a lot of match reaction and everything else on there. But big up to every one of you. Win, lose or draw. The bankers out, Glazers out. That's what we want. By the way, and the last thing I'll say on this one, on the last one, do not get clickbaited. We're going to know what the Glazers are doing, if they're going to sell the football club or not, by the end of the month, the end of April. So don't get clickbaited by people telling you they know and they know. They don't know jack. Everybody's guessing. The Qatari representative were in Manchester today, and then Jim Radcliffe is going to be in Old Trafford tomorrow. That's all it is. Around the training ground. That's all it is, people. So don't get it.
Is that what he's doing tomorrow? Yeah. Is that what he's doing?
The Qatari representative were at the training ground today. They were there for about 10 hours talking to everybody. Went to the first team training, the women's training sessions. They looked around everything. Nuruddin, I've checked out Monikona Grubal. He's actually a perfect understudy to defensively mint, but also how to take on a man. That's the perfect guy. I told you about that guy. I've been watching him for 2 years now.
Is he that good, Nuruddin? Is he good? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. But I think other teams are going to be often. Irfan's getting shirted tonight. There we go. There you go.
I'm trying to offer you good advice, man. Listen, shirts can cost hundreds of pounds, hundreds. Not with us.
Alien Tenos is giving it to me. He said, 44 chest. Mine's 40, 56.
55 to 60.
Wow.
Listen, 55 to 60 is obesity. But then again, they're mixing up metric with imperial, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, they're mixing up. That's 44 inch chest.
150.
No, that's obviously that's a different unit measure.
Yeah, I just want to big up always. She's always the champion. She's always the queen of the chat.
Yes, Claire.
The queen of the chat. The queen of the chat. The best moderator out there on YouTube, mate. Claire. She's coming on the channel. I've had a word with her. We're getting her on, people. She doesn't ever want to call on camera, but she's coming on.
What's happened to all the other women that used to come on the channel? I forget the women's names.
Supernet.
No, the girls that used to come on.
Sinkanova. No, listen.
No. Do you remember the girl with the glasses that used to come on? Rachel, yeah.
Yeah. We're getting her back on. We're getting her back
on. She's still doing hers. And there was an Irish girl as well, remember? Yeah?
Yeah. We're getting them back on. Fingers crossed. Big up to everybody. What about Alicia Sinkanova? Alicia Sinkanova is a guy called Brian that's pretending to be Alicia Sinkanova. Big up to our Claire, man. Qataris had 3 trucks full of money for the Glazers. There we go. I don't know about that.
No, what they did, Nuruddin, because what they did, they just had this electric door that just went up a little bit, showed them the money and went back down again. Yeah, it was all the gold bars were beaming out to United authorities.
Exactly. Listen, Malcolm, let them know when you're going live on your YouTube channel next.
Yeah. So I'm going live tomorrow. I'd say probably around 11.
UK time?
No, US time. So that'll be, I think that'll probably be like 4 p.m. in the UK. Yeah. Okay, so cool. if you guys want to come on, then no. Sorry.
Nice one, bro. You know what? I think I'm busy tomorrow, but let me know a date and I'll be there. But the later you do, the better for me.
The later.
Yeah.
All right.
What time is it now over there? What time is it over there now?
So right now it's 8 p.m. in the US. So
why don't you do it sometime like this? We can go live straight after.
Right now?
No, not now, but another day when we finish this. We go live straight after.
Yeah. Sure.
Love. Big up to you.
Yeah, man. All right. See you guys.
He's in Maryland. Maryland. Yeah, Nick Nash. He's in Maryland.
Yeah.
Baltimore, man. Baltimore area. Okay.
Always. Of course.
Yeah. Just him makes the second round United bid visit 10 days according to Sky Sports News. Well, we'll see. But don't get clickbaited, people. Glazers out, bankers out. See you in the next one. See you for I think most likely we'll do it on Friday. No, it's not Friday or Saturday. We'll do the
When's
Saturday.
The next game, Nuruddin? When's the next game?
Sunday 4:30.
Oh yeah, Sunday game. What time? Is it 2 or 4?
4:30 FA Cup.
Oh, isn't it on TV? No.
It's on TV, but I'm going to the game, yeah.
Okay.
Big up to everybody. Take care. Glazers out always.
Always.
Get in the comments, who do you want Those of you watching this later, let me know who do you want? Who do you want in the next round?